Hi, my name's Austin, and this is my website that I built as a part of the portfolio project for Nucamp's front-end course. This website is called Guideog. Essentially, what this is it's a platform for hosting collaboratively built guides, and I can go more into that in just a little bit. Right now, what we're looking at is just a kind of homepage, just a mock-up homepage. Gives you a little bit of a description of what the site is. Might have a sign up card here. I did also add some kind of dynamic error handling here, which makes it disappear when you click off the page. I just felt that looked a little bit more professional. I also have a section here which will eventually show you essentially usage statistics based off certain types of recommendations. So these are all categories of recommendation, right? And then we've got categories, guides. So how the website will work is essentially there will be categories. Imagine it as like a subreddit, right? Just a place where a bunch of different guides are hosted. And then in those categories, there will be a bunch of guides. So we have an example right here for programming. One of those guides might be Bootstrap, Mastering Grid and Flexbox. So pretty simple idea. Now, how it would actually work, we can go over to the main page here, which is not fleshed out at all. I just didn't have enough time to fully complete this yet, but I will be working on it because I do want to make this a functional website in the end. Imagine, and we can actually move these off the page. Again, none of that functionality is really in its final form yet, but imagine a card here, right? That's kind of how I envision it. It's just a series of cards, and then you scroll down through a series of cards. You've clicked onto a category, you've clicked onto a guide that you want to read, like that Mastering Grid and Flexbox guide, and then you'll see step 1 is the first card. And it will go through, somebody wrote this specific card for a guide about how to master Grid and Flexbox, and they might have also written a second step. So you scroll down, and then step 2 pops up. Now that could or it could not have been the original author's step 2 for their own step 1. It might be a different step 2 if somebody else wrote a step 2 for that specific guide that was endorsed more highly. Now, maybe this wouldn't really work that well for a topic like programming. This is probably better for kind of niche subjects. Maybe if you just think right off the top of my head, I'm thinking like for game walkthroughs. If you have, for example, one step, you got to go do A and B, and then the next step would be C and D, right? But then somebody else might write a branching step for that would be, no, you got to do D, then C. And if other people found that to be better information, they would pop that into there, they would upvote it, and it would get linked to step 1 as its subsequent step 2, and if that became the most highly endorsed thing, then that's the first thing people would see when they just scroll through the guide. So kind of a convoluted idea. I feel like it'll be a lot more easy to understand when I have a real representation of it. But overall, that's for the most part the application, or the idea for the application. I can go into the code a little bit here, if you don't mind bearing with me just a second. I've never used OBS before, so this is all new for me. Okay, here we go. So this is all the code that I have so far. Just want to cover a few highlights since I don't have much time. Basically, what I did is I mostly just went through kind of core React that we learned in the course. I have our browser router navigation, all that stuff. Most of the components actually that we set up. I have a little bit of custom data handling, so all the stuff that you saw displayed in those 2 front cards where it was listed under category and guides, those are populated by data that's handled here. Now, for some interesting stuff I did, which wasn't actually recommended in the course, I did go ahead and learn how to use styled components, which is basically just a framework for creating components in CSS, where it allows you to like import props. So here I kind of went a little bit overboard, but this gives you an idea of how I created the 2 sidebars that you saw on the side of the page. That's actually the exact same component, just with a different direction prop. So I thought that was pretty neat. Overall, there's not really anything else that I'd like to kind of dive into that I thought was really worth explaining. But yeah, I hope you appreciated that. And I really look forward to doing the backend course and wrapping up this whole project. Thank you.